Got a Bestechman. Everyday gear, everyday life, lifetime warranty. Yeah, I mean, what more can you ask for? This is a Ronan, 14C28N, and it's black. Ronan. It's like a samurai, isn't it? Oh, look at this thing. JG10, translucent, black stonewashed, and it's a oh, pardon me. I don't know what they're calling it, but some type of clutch lock. Oh, look at this thing. Oh, wow. Surely that blade's loose. It's got a little wiggle in it, but yeah, no, it's locked up rock solid. Come on. Wow. Look at that thumb roll. Spidey flick. Thumb flick. Good grief. It's got some girth to it. It's got some bulk. And this G10 has a texture. It's been milled horizontally like this. And I can feel that. It's a smooth texture. It's not, it's not grippy. It's a smooth texture. Look at all the skeletonizing going on in there. The pocket clip, I think, needs a little attention. Man, oh man. All right, so a couple of things I got to do here. The first thing is I'm going to check that pivot and make sure that that's tight. I mean, I got a little turn on it, and it definitely tightened the knife. Yeah, it did. So the pivot was slightly loose, and I think I felt a little wiggle in it. The second thing I'm going to do is check that pocket clip. The pocket clip appears to not be very, very tensioned. Recessed screws, it is not reversible. Look at the black hardware on this. Black hardware everywhere on this knife. All right, let's check that pocket clip. I mean, it's pretty good here, but I can already tell it's going to be too light there in standard jean material. I can feel it, like it's got tension, but it won't take nothing to tighten that up. There's just a tiny little gopher poking his head out of the hole there. Yep. We'll tighten that up. All right. Well, let's get in here. Well, hold on. Let me feel this. I mean, look at that leaf. It's basically a spear point. I mean, if you look at it, wow. It's got that nice leaf shape to it. And dig it. That's very comfortable. Lots of contouring going on here. The scales are contoured this way as well, so really comfy in hand. Woo, nice jimping. Yeah, they nailed that. Can choke up here to slice if I need to. Reverse grip. Yeah, I can cap that with the thumb. Really nice. This works. And then, I mean, I can get here. I just got to kind of come from the side with my thumb. But this is a confident grip here as well. And I'd rather be here than here. Yep. All right. Well, let's get up in there. Let's take some stuff apart and see what we find. There's no Loctite on there. T8 on the pivot, and then T6 is the rest. And they've got a JG10 translucent backspacer too. So that's a nice touch. Because a lot of times I think they'd kind of step out of that and allow that to be like black or something, you know. It's like, why not use same stuff, man? All right, well, the pocket clip's got to come off anyways because I'm going to put some tension on it. So I'm going to have to pull this other screw. and I could feel it release the scale. So it had something to do with holding the scale down. Yeah. So it's non-adjustable, the spring, um, in a simple format. Now I can adjust that. You squeeze it, you stretch it. So I can definitely adjust that. And in order to take this apart, I believe the stop pin goes through. So this one should be pretty easy. I haven't done one in a while, so I think I'll take this one apart. I'm going to go ahead and pull my spring. Just release the tension off of that. I don't think I'm going to mess with the tension because, I mean, the thing run like it runs like a $10,000 knife. I mean, I don't know what to say because it just runs wonderfully. All right, so now that I'm looking at this, that barbell's got to come from the other side only. I think. Let me pull this scale. Yeah, that's looking kind of weird. Normally there's a big hole for that to fit through on both sides, but there's no hole on that other side unless I didn't see that right. Now the pivot's got to come. I mean, I don't see a hole on this side either. I think the only way to get that off is you got to unscrew it. Well, and I'm not messing with all that. So I'm going to wipe it down. I'm going to adjust the pocket clip and I'm going to put it back together. That's what I'm going to do. Call me soft. You say I'm losing my nerve. But yeah, I'm not going through all that. I mean, the knife runs like a Swiss watch, man. It don't need me in there. Now, if you buy it and at some point you want to clean it and do full maintenance on it, well, then take it apart. You know, dig in, get you some. There we go. I'm going to wipe this scale off. Had some oily stuff going on there. What about this one? Yeah. All right, I'm going to put the pivot in, keep everything in place. So I don't have any accidents. Let me figure out which ones are my pocket clip screws. Oh, there they are, the little flat ones. Okay. I did see Loctite on these screws too, by the way. I said no Loctite. I think I did. At least I had it on my brain. But these had a little dab of Loctite on them. And sometimes maybe they just weren't tightened enough. You know what I mean? Like you gotta, what do they call it? You gotta activate that stuff. And it's the tension, the pressure that activates it. Okay. Well, this should all be good now. Well, I got a little bit of rock going on there, but that's all this. There we go. Yeah. All right. Let's put a little tension on this pocket clip. And the way we're going to do that is my little Knipex. Man, are they nice. So handy. And then I'm going to grab onto that with that protecting it, and I'm going to squeeze that closed. Yep, right there. Just trying to close that gap a little bit. It's Bruce spring steel, so it'll spring back most of that. But a little bit of it stayed. A little bit of that bend stayed. Now, when I put it back on the knife, we're recessed into the G10 scales. And when I set it back in there, look at the front. See now the front's raised up because I bent that and put some tension on it. So what I don't want to do is put that front screw in first, because look at these screws, man. They are tiny, itty bitty. And so if I put that front one in first, I run the risk of possibly stripping those threads, all kinds of bad things happening. So because the back is still recessed and down in there, I can put that back one in first and it will start to suck the front down. Watch. So there goes the front. See it sucking it down? So now it helped pull that front down. So now this front screw doesn't have to bear all that tension all by itself. So now that I got it, and the back's not completely tight, I just wanted to get a little bit of a head start. So look at how deep that screws in there. Try to illustrate this. So right there, I mean, if it's got one or two threads, that's all it has to start. And so imagine if I didn't suck that front down. I mean, it might have had like a half a thread that was pulling on that screw. And that half a thread, it'd be easy to strip that out. And the reason they're so short is because they're going into that scale. They can't stick out in here and make contact with the blade, right? So they're short, little stubby dudes, man. So anyways, that's my speech on start with the back screw when you mess with that pocket clip. Oh my goodness, this thing. I'm going to see if I can't tighten that pivot a little more just to inhibit that action some, because man, oh man, is that free. Wow. Well, let's talk about this action real quick. I mean, that's next on the list. Beautiful black stonewash on that 14C. Whew, nice. The action. I mean, for a clutch lock like that, now, Bestechman may have their own name for that. I don't know what they call it. Axis lock, clutch lock, the bar lock. I mean, there's so many names for it, man. I ain't getting caught up in all that. I'm kind of over it, actually. They all can't call it the same thing, but it's exactly the same thing. So I'm not even trying to figure out what they call it. I used to go look. Well, what do they call it? I ain't looking no more. I'm over that. It's an axis lock or a clutch lock. Whatever comes out of my mouth, that's what I'm calling it. Now, if somebody wants to call me and go, bro, you're not saying that right, you're 100% right. Fair enough. Thanks for pointing it out. I don't care. Yep. IDK. Let me see how many times I can type it out on this video. But with that type of action on this knife, the action on this is an A. It's an A. It's not an A minus. It's an A plus to an A. And to be honest, I'm going to have to think about why wouldn't I say it's A plus? It is just that good. Let me see if I can shake it out. Yeah, I can shake it out, so I'll call it an A. Although, with this type of lock and a button lock, it's really common to be able to do that. I mean, I see some guys just panic, man. Oh, the blade, the detent on the bottom. With this type of lock, it's very common to have that happen. Same thing with a button lock, but that's a super, extremely confident lock system. Wow, is this nice. All right, enough of me drooling over that action. Let's talk about the ergonomics. So locked in, the contouring, all of it combined is such a comfortable knife in hand. Very comfortable. Like if you picked one of these up, you put it in hand, remember what I said about it being comfortable, because the first thing you'd think to your mind is, yeah, he's 100% right. This thing in hand is super comfortable. Nice jimping. I mean, just on the edge of being combat type stuff. I can push through it, but not a lot, barely. So if I bear down on this, I'm really locked in. Not so confident, confident, very confident. I mean, it's a confident grip. I'm locked in enough that I can go forward with this knife, and I'm not worried about my fingers coming up and over. This is deep enough. There's enough of a finger guard created here, and with the rest of it locking my hand in, it's really nice. Reverse grip, yeah, it's got that all day long. My two fingers get to grab the pocket clip here, cap it with my thumb. Very nice. And then I can get here, and this is confident. And of course, I'd much rather be right here, up in my chest, my left hand up in a defensive posture, and then this. I'd much rather be this than this. Just me. Let's check that pocket clip again. Yeah, the ergonomics, the action. Whew. Yeah, super tight now. It's got great tension. Yeah. Look at that. Very nice. Low profile, sits in the pocket well. It's going to be where I put it when I go looking for it. What about safety? Can I get that blade? Tips recessed, pocket clips great, and I can access this knife any way I want, and I'm not going to catch the sharp part. Yeah, very nice. That big, tall, flat grind, that 14C, come on, man. Razor blade, right? Base to tip. Yeah, wonderful. All right. What was the name of this thing again? Because I got to go see what these cost. The Ronan. All right, I get it. Ronan. The Lone Samurai. Isn't that what that means? All right, let me check. Yeah, so these are right around 64 bucks. So if you subscribe, you get 10% off. So that brings this down to about $58. Is it worth 58 bucks? Man, it's awful nice. If you're feeling this at all, I mean, then it absolutely is worth $58. Black stonewash, the black hardware, the translucent jade that you can see all the components on the inside. I dig it, man. The action and the ergonomics, yeah, come on. This thing's legit. The Bestechman Ronan. Appreciate y'all watching.